Yo, what's going on, party people? At least we here. We're back at it. We got another one here. It's that time. You already know. So let's talk about it, guys. Welcome. If this is your first time, so technically, what I do here, I talk about us. I talk about spirituality, but most importantly, I guess it's a combination. When we talk about spirituality, my definition of it is us. Because our lives pretty much are defined or is being ruled by what we don't see, meaning our emotions, our psychological understanding. um yeah, so name it, you got it. So technically you have two parts of you. You have your physical part, you have the non-physical part. Obviously, we say it all the time, the more you know, the better you'll be able to act, right? So therefore, what we're also saying is that your non-physical aspect of you, which is the learning side, you cannot touch it. Your emotions, your psychological aspect or understanding, those are the part that rules what you see. And that's how you are a spiritual being having a human experience. In so many words, once you understand that, that's what makes you a spirit, having a human experience. But most importantly, that's what makes you a spirit, because your whole apparatus is based on what you don't see. And in so many words, that's what the occult is all about when we talk about esoteric knowledge. Now, that's where I'm going with this, all right? So, if this is the first time here, that's what I do. So, we're going to talk some shit, right? If you're coming back, you already know you're in for a treat. Get a plate, you know what I'm saying? So Holy Communion. Let's talk that shit. Let's do it. So, I've been looking at a couple of things, right? People talking about what esoteric is, and I'm not gonna say the name of that guy, but I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? And lately, okay, let's break it down like this, right? The age that we're living now, it's what is called the age of information, right? Because you have access to information, computers out there, and all these things. Now, my question is, how come? I mean, I do have the answer to that, but I'm going somewhere with that, right? So you would think in an age where information, you could get PDF books, you could read about Baphomet, you could read all of these things. I mean, there's no mystery anymore. Well, until you do the research, of course. But yet, it looks to me, okay, that uh, I don't. It seems like people are more stupid. Fuck it. Do you see what I'm saying? Meanwhile, there's a bunch of information out there. Do you see what I'm saying? So how do you explain that? This is crazy. I mean, not really, but depending on how you're looking at it. But the reason why I want to talk about this is because I've been thinking about what the ancient knew, like the ancient Egyptians. For instance, they had what they called mystery schools, right? And I touch up on that a little bit, but there's a reason why I'm going back to this, right? Because there's a guru, right? Um, I guess everybody is looking up to him, whatever. And he was saying like, why would you have a mystery school if there's nothing suspicious about it? So the whole idea of the mystery school, now that you have all of these information out, I mean, that's where I'm going with it. You know what I'm saying? What they understood then, and I'm gonna tell you, the downfall of this age too, because the information is out there. Everybody's is fucking repeating it. I've seen toxic people calling other people toxic. This shit is crazy. Everybody, is going on that spiritual wave, but they don't truly understand it. It's all bullshit. So it's like the information age, unfortunately, has, I don't want to say devalue the knowledge itself, but I understood what the ancient were doing by having the mystical school. Because when we talk about esoteric knowledge or this type of knowledge, the ancient understand you got to be ready for it. There's a certain, you got to have a personal interest in getting to know, the occult. That's what makes it hidden. Not in the sense of it's being hidden from you, like that somebody's hiding it. No, it means you got to go in. You got to have a personal interest. You got to want to know. Like for me, it's like when I looked at life, I'm like, there's got to be something else. I was curious. I wanted to go in. I was reading different books. I was asking questions. I was doing all that shit. So a guy like me would have been or would have had access to the mystery school because I was curious. I wanted to know. I had the desire to know. I didn't give a fuck about what I knew or what I thought I knew. I was open and willing to start over regardless of what it is because there was a part of me that needed that, you know what I'm saying, that knowledge. You know what I'm saying? I had to, I just needed to get my medicine. Simply put, right? So that was the whole idea behind it. And because of course you have your fake motherfuckers, who wants to talk about spirituality, but who's not about it. It's a wave now. See, like I said, a lot of people now are saying the word narcissist, toxicity. And I'm hearing it from toxic motherfuckers. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Because when that happens, that's like you casting pearls before swines. So what's happening here, and even I don't know who the fuck was I watching saying this shit. It's like, oh, Kevin Samuels. He was saying how a lot of modern women was talking about self love. You know, the fucking yo, check this out. I remember meeting this girl, right? And that's why I'm laughing. You know how when somebody don't have proper communication, they didn't know how to communicate, and then she said, "I don't chase." What? Do you see what I'm saying? So it got to a point where like stupid people are just repeating shit unintended, like unfucking intelligently, and they want to sound smart because smart people are talking about smart shit, and they're repeating shit. So that's unfortunately the side effect of this fucking age by having the information out there. In fact, it pretty much started. Okay, let me give you guys a little bit of background, right? So, if you follow, like, I don't know how much you know about religion, right? But Catholic schools or the Catholic Church, pretty much, only the priest was responsible to read the Bible and talk to other people, right? So, I mean, even today, it's still the same. Like, I was raised in the fucking Catholic schools, and, I know how they operate. So, until this dude Martin Luther comes around and telling people to read the Bible. You got to read it for yourself. I mean, I get it. I mean, that would probably be something I would say to people too, because you are, I mean, the information is for you. Do you see what I'm saying? And only you can save yourself any fucking way. But I get it. However, you imagine what happened after that? When everybody started reading the Bible now, that's what you call your Protestant Reformation or Reformation, whatever the fuck that terminology is, right? But just follow the cause and effect. And then now we're getting to this age here, right? So by encouraging everybody to read the Bible, then what you have today, or what started then, was different denomination because people have different interpretation. Nothing wrong with that. Fine, good. But I'm trying to make you understand, or I'm trying to share with you, the cause and the effect. So now fast forward, and that's what you see. You see the Baptist church, the however the fuck, all these motherfuckers, right? Denominations and all that. All of that comes from the fact that you got to read the Bible for yourself, and then you have the 7 Day Adventist niggas, you know what I'm saying, who are stuck in the Old Testament. They telling you, but anyway. So what you have in those different denominations, you have different type of understanding, but all of that comes from I don't want to blame, I don't want to say because they have access to it. That's what caused it. But at the same time, that was also the reason why it definitely happened, right? So the ancient or the Egyptian mystery school, unlike what this other guru was fucking talking about, because he didn't know shit of what was coming out of his mouth, this fucking Indian motherfucker, right? Because he was saying like some foul shit. But anyway, it has nothing to do because, they had shit they had to hide, and it was none of that. But they understood it was wisdom. Okay, you do not cast pearls before swine, meaning, how do you give somebody advice if they're not asking you for it? You're talking out of your ass. That's why you don't provide unasked advice. Do you see what I'm saying? Or if somebody's not on your level, you don't argue with them. How do you argue with a fucking 9 or 8 year old? You don't. Do you see what I'm saying? And that has nothing to do with anything, because the whole philosophy behind the mystery school is that you have to be worthy of the knowledge, because the knowledge was sacred, and it still is. But they understand, having that type of knowledge in the wrong hand, meaning in, you know, um, undeveloped spiritual motherfuckers, they're gonna flip it around. And that's what you see today. Unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have seen toxic people calling other toxic people toxic. That shit is crazy. So a lot of people are using the terminology, the spiritual terms. They're saying they're spiritual. In so many words, they are. I mean, everybody's spiritual. I mean, you may be spiritually undeveloped, but essentially, when we use the term spiritual, I mean, we use it as someone who's fully developed. Someone who's doing the work, who's reading, actually reading the information. But better yet, you have to become that information. And that's how the word is made flesh. So you have a lot of these people with, the age of information, unfortunately, who are repeating stuff, but they don't know what the fuck they talking about. Everybody wants to be a guru. Everybody wants to. I mean, I guess it's pretty. I don't know. I don't know. But the reason why I wanted to talk about this first, I wanted to explain the whole esoteric, the whole idea behind the mystery schools, because that's what this was about. That's like if you go into an Ivy League school, there's a certain grade you gotta be. I mean, you gotta have. There's a certain score you gotta have, because this is how this is happening in here. So you have to be worthy of that information. That's all it is. There's nothing else behind it. Now, the other part of that I also wanted to talk about is, how people are using even self-love. It's like they don't know what they're talking about. People, because I know motherfuckers who talk about self-love who are selfish. They meant to say selfish. Man, listen, I know spiritual, motherfuckers that are on Instagram right now. I could tell you. Fake ass motherfuckers. Unbelievable. I know them personally. Fake, 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 fake. So it's like spirituality has become this new hustle now. You know what I'm saying? It's the new way for people to be like, be accepted, I guess. Whereas the whole purpose is to truly educate others. It's not to be cute. We're not doing spirituality to be cute, man. There's a crisis here. We need help. This is not a fucking intellectual masturbation. This is life information transformation. But unfortunately, having that sacred knowledge in the wrong hand, it depreciates the value of spirituality. And that's what I'm seeing happening right now. Unfucking believable. Or you would have people that are trying to imitate other people. It is insane, man. I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. I don't fucking get it. Like the whole idea of self love, man. Like I see a lot of people don't understand it. They say it, but they don't understand it. They are referring to being selfish. Loving yourself more doesn't make you selfish. In fact, it invite you to love other people. That's why when you hear people say you gotta love yourself first for you to love somebody else, that means you would be in a better position to understand yourself. And as you can relate to yourself, then you can relate to other people. Just like they say, hurt people hurt other people. But if you heal yourself, then you have a better chance at healing somebody else. Because a lot of us, what we do is because we've been hurt, we automatically hurt other people. It's not, we don't do it on purpose. In fact, I was listening to this. I don't remember who was talking, but anyway, her whole spill, like she was talking about how, you know what, like I'm fucking done with men. You know what I'm saying? Going forward, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna give you the best of me. I'm gonna give you just the bare minimum, right? So that comes from somebody who's being hurt. Do you see what I'm saying? Instead of going in, doing the work, which is healing herself, understanding, hey, if your shoe size is 12, what are you doing wearing number 7? A shoe, you know what I'm saying? Because that's exactly what it is. So then you had a bad experience, but you didn't fully understand the fucking experience that you went through. So now hurt people hurt other people. You had it with your single mothers too. I'm meant to. I mean, I'm not, I'm not trying to make this a sexist shit, you know what I'm saying? None of that shit. But I'm just using this example to say, right? Hurt people hurt people. So the whole idea of you loving yourself would mean, and that's why I was using this example, the idea of you loving yourself, meaning you would have to heal yourself, understanding, okay, men is not an issue, or bitches are not the issue, or women is not the issue for men. Okay, you made a wrong fucking decision. It's okay. And here's something else too. If your mind is not clear, you're not gonna make a good judgment any fucking way. That's why I start with you. If your mind is not clear, your decision is gonna be all fucked up. There's nothing selfish here. Loving yourself first mean understanding yourself first so that you could understand other people. So when I hear people talk about self-love, they're really talking about selfishness, not understanding what fucking true self-love is, but they're repeating self-love. You know what I'm saying? If your mind is troubled, your decision is you're not gonna make a clear fucking decision. That's like if you're aiming at something, you don't have a clear shot, you're not gonna hit the target. That's all that is. Has nothing to do with being selfish because a lot of people don't understand. That's what self-love is. In fact, when you love somebody else, that's because you have self-love for you. Start with you first. So if you don't heal yourself, guess what? Just like that lady that says, you know what, I'm gonna give my bare minimum because she's hurt. Then now she's looking to hurt other people because she's hurt. Had she took the time, reflect on the whole situation, or heal herself, then her approach would be better with other people. Love yourself for you to love somebody else. Nothing to do with selfishness. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how else I can actually explain this. Like, if this is not crystal clear, you know what I'm saying? But when I'm hearing other people talking about it, it's like, what? What is that? What are they talking about? But then that's when it hits me. Now people are having access, or it could be another motherfucker listening to me too. You could be listening to me and not truly understand what I'm saying because you only understand or you hear the things that you understand. Do you see what I'm saying? Or, I mean, I could be talking shit to you too, either way. It's all good, baby. You know what I'm saying? But all I'm saying is this, though. Like, well, that's why it starts with you. But again, the problem, or I shouldn't say a problem, but, I guess the downside or the con of the age of information. Because now everybody's repeating the same thing, not truly understanding what they're talking about. Like I said, I've seen toxic people talking about toxicity. Well, I mean, for one, they know all about it. I mean, but not to a point where they're healed. Because generally, when if I were to say, I'm not dealing with toxicity, because I know what I'm talking about. I know I'm referring to, someone who's not highly developed or emotionally developed, or it could be someone who's hurt, who has not discovered, how to heal themselves yet. Because that's truly what it comes down to. That's why hurt people. And heal motherfuckers, heal other motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm here giving you the work. But to make a long story short, man, it's like, I wanted to touch on that because I felt like a lot of people don't understand the whole idea of the mystery school, and I wanted to address that only because, I felt like someone, who is supposedly, um, I don't know, however, what I'm saying, but it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? And there was something else he said too, some other bullshit. So he was talking about esoteric, and he said, this is what the esoteric is. And then he started talking about, in fact, I'll tell you exactly what he did. I mean, those were not his words, but it was something exact or similar to what I'm about to tell you. It's like if you were to ask anybody about voodoo, their only interpretation of what voodoo is people casting pearl. I mean, fucking, uh, how do you call that? Spells on other people. That's the definition of voodoo, of what voodoo is. It's spell work, it's sorcery, it's all that shit. So that's their only understanding of it. And that's exactly what this guy was talking about when he was talking about the esoteric, which has absolutely nothing to do with none of it. Now, on voodoo, though, a lot of people don't understand it. Voodoo, the word "vu" means introspection. You going inside of you. That's why voodoo and the occult goes hand in hand. So us as Haitian people, we call it introspection into the mystère, meaning the mystery, what you don't understand, what is beyond your understanding, which is yourself. Because this is a self journey. We're still trying to understand who we are. But most importantly, we have to delve into ourselves to understand it. That's why when they have what they call the fucking Uga, it's a priest. There's a community. He's serving the community. Just like, during the goddess era or back in the days with the ancients, they have priest and they had fucking priestess. And then we call it Mambo. So it's the same exact shit. So to talk about sorcery, that's what voodoo is. That's Hollywood. You're just talking out of your ass, just like everybody else. I mean, it's no biggie. I'm saying niggas always talk about shit they don't know. Just got to say something. I get it, but it has nothing to do with that. And obviously, you don't have to know voodoo to cast fucking spell on somebody, do you? Those are forces in nature. So when you're dealing with voodoo, you're dealing with the forces in nature. Your spirit and other spirits. They are around you whether you want it or not. When you talk about the Holy Ghost, what the fuck are you talking about? Like my man was saying, you know what I'm saying? If Jesus died, you worshiping Jesus, what the fuck are you talking about? You're talking about the fucking ancestors. Even if you resurrected, whatever the fuck, however the fuck you want to put it, he was dead at one point. And what we're saying in voodoo is that our ancestors are not dead. How is that different? So, and here's something else that I also noticed too. Even though the information is out there and I get it, people were still not gonna. It's like I can't recall what book I was reading, but the guy was pretty much talking about you may have everything in front of you, but your mind only see what you focus on. If I get into my room here, I'm looking for this particular item. There could be tons of other items that are next to me that I will not pay attention to because that's what I'm looking for. So although it is the age where information is like fucking everywhere, you could get free PDF books. You don't have to go to the motherfucking library. You don't got to do none of that shit. But niggas still ain't reading. You know what I'm saying? But most importantly, they will highlight certain things for you to think about. So when you hear people talking about a narc, that's the term for it now. I mean, I get it. I mean, I understand what it means, but that shit was always around. And now it's just getting I mean, I guess people are somehow discovering it, and the word's been just passing down like crazy. But there has always been knocks, or what I'm saying, however the fuck you want to call it, or low vibrational people. They've always been around. But now, since that word or that part of whatever the fuck has been highlighted, now everybody's talking about it. Even the knocks are talking about knocks. This shit is crazy. I'm like, what? Toxic motherfuckers are talking about toxic relationship. This is insane. This is insane. It has become a new fucking hustle. And guess what happens too? It watered down the value of it. But those who knows will still know. I mean, it is what it is. It's still a treasure to those who cherish it, who truly know the importance of it, to those who actually take that knowledge in and apply it into their lives. Because that's what the shit's about. It's not about your intellectual masturbation, man, or showing off how smart you are. I mean, to each his own. Saying like, I don't know. It's crazy. What the fuck else I was gonna talk about too, man? It's just insane. So it's almost like you know the fact that a lot of people have access to that type of information. It blurred their vision. I, I'm not sure if I know what's worse or not. Do you see what I'm saying? But it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, if you can't see it, you're not gonna see it. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it still require devotion. This type of knowledge requires devotion, dedication, a personal interest. And that's what the ancient was looking for. That's how they know you are one of the ones. You're the chosen ones. Because now it's like most people just live their lives, go about their business, you know what I'm saying? Eat, drink, shit, party, do all that, smoke, do all that shit, and then that's it. But for those who wants more, who understand that man does not live alone by bread. So we're talking about a whole different ball game now. This is life this is life like fucking transformation type of information. Not something to sound cute with. Because that's what I'm seeing around me, man. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers want to sound cute. And that's not what the shit is about. But that could be a downside of, what we call the information age as well. Who knows? However, as I stated, what I'm saying, regardless, what I'm saying, it doesn't take away. Those who know will always know. But it's just, I guess, what I'm saying, also saying is how sad it is. People who are talking about the truth, they don't even understand what they're saying. Motherfuckers are talking about self love, but they're being selfish, stupid. And then they talking about, I don't chase. What? It's like this whole, it turns into like stupidity. Chasing and expressing yourself are two different things. You chase after something that don't want you. You express yourself to something that you want. Now you're no longer chasing after you express yourself. Now you understand if it's not mutual, then you don't chase. But not to express yourself talking about you don't chase. That's stupidity. It's like it's like what the fuck? And they're repeating and those things are being repeated by stupid motherfuckers, man. So I guess I'm saying all of that to say too, man. Like, but those who know will know. You would resonate with that information. It sounds to me like it's becoming more of a, how can I say this? I mean, I don't want to say a social thing because, regardless, it's still going to be social. However, the information is being dissected or accepted. Um, but more on I don't know, man. Like, what's the word that I'm looking for? It turns into trying to please other people, a pleasing thing, or you know what I'm saying, or that's just the cool thing to talk about. I mean, shit. I mean, love is love. I mean, if that's how you feel, I'm not gonna stop anybody from doing that. But just make sure you know what you're talking about, though. You see what I'm saying? Like for me, that's why I always say I come out of the closet because what I'm saying. Like niggas that know me. I mean, obviously you didn't know me well, but that has always been part of me. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, but I never really talk in public about it because the whole and the funny shit is I'm a true fucking scholar, meaning doing the studies, the readings, you know what I'm saying, all that. But yet I never talk about books that I read. It's just funny. If you meet me anywhere, if you see me partying, nigga, I'm drinking, I'm smoking, you know what I'm saying, I'm having fun. You would have never known, nigga. You know what I'm saying? He would have never known because the knowledge is not for that. It's for your personal, what's the word here? For your personal usage, for your personal transformation. Do you see what I'm saying? Now, when the spirit tells me, yo, we want you to get out there because you have something to say, and the way you say it, you got to come out and give him that work. I'm like, okay. But most importantly, that's me serving humanity as well, doing my father's work, and also doing what I came here to do. But we're not doing this shit for clouds, man. Like, or to sound cute. Like, I don't get it. A bunch of fake ass motherfuckers, man. But anyway, I guess they're also vital. But, I mean, the bottom line here is that, you know, make sure if you're listening to this, or if you're reading a book, or if you're learning, or you have the urge to develop yourself, you gotta do it for you, man. Do you see what I'm saying? And before you repeat anything, make sure you repeat it. I mean, ultimately, we're all repeating shit. All the masters, all fucking, we're all repeating what was already said. But the only difference is not only that we repeat it with our own understanding, but we're giving it our own flavor. So even though there's nothing new under the sun, but the way that I'm saying it, that's what makes it new. My uniqueness, that's what makes it sacred. My individuality in it. Do you see what I'm saying? And that's how, you know, the masters, simplicity reveals the masters, right? And that's how you would see certain masters would have a greater influence on others than others. Has to do with, you know, how their individuality and their connection to the universe is being projected. But anyway, I figured I give a little something, something. Damn, I feel like I sound like a little bit mad. Do I? No, but it was just a bunch of bull. I'm like, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. It's like, damn, like, it's unbelievable. I'm seeing how spirituality is being watered down because, again, you know what I'm saying, people who don't really understand it are talking about it. The word now everybody's saying they're manifesting, 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 manifesting. They're all repeating the same shit. I mean, listen, I don't have anything against it. I guess all what I'm trying to say is, like, I don't know, maybe you should, hey, I don't even, whatever. You know what I'm saying? No, but I guess what I'm truly trying to say here is that, how can I say this? Even if we're talking about manifestation, right? It's nothing new. You've been doing it. The problem with a lot of people, especially when it comes to manifestation or attraction or vibration, however the fuck you want to call it, is that you are vibrating on this level. Now you're looking to manifest shit that are on this level, on that level. So you don't understand, like, you vibrate who you are. So if you want to be on that level, you got to bring your vibration up here. And you would automatically do it. You don't even have to ask. And that's what Jesus was referring to. Like if you're doing God's work, you ain't got to ask. It will automatically manifest. That's why you are the magic. The true magic is you. So the rituals that people are doing, I'm not against it, but it's in so many words, it's kind of small. Or or it doesn't have to be. I mean, I know what I'm talking about. By being small, I'm saying um once you align yourself with it, you could still do the ritual. But if you looking for abundance, you have a poor mentality. What are you doing? Because the whole point is, you attract who you are. That's the law of vibration. These knowledge are not fancy shit. There are things that you're supposed to know. Because as you are on this earth operating this body, it's only right that you understand how you operate. And the magic is you. Because nothing is impossible. You have God essence in you, meaning that makes you God as well. But most importantly, in my past videos too, I've been talking about how, your perception of God also reflects what type of life that you're living. And your relationship with God too reflected. Because someone who just say, fuck God, right? They don't believe in nothing, in being a fucking atheist. Well, it reflects in their lives. And if you have a fear of God, it reflects in your life. Then you'll go to church every day or every Sunday. You'll be, you know what I'm saying? You'll do that. So you can't dissociate God from how you're thinking, whether you know it or not. Whether you know it or not. That's why your God's going to determine your life. And no matter how objective you're trying to be, it's still coming from you. So therefore, it's still subjective. There's no way out of it. So I would rather create a God that works for me then. That makes my life better. And that's where, when you understand that the essence of God is in you, then you are God. If you're looking at yourself as being God, not being almighty, but having the essence of God in you, then you will not be afraid of doing anything. Then you will know everything is possible. Then you will have faith. There's a certain behavior, having a certain state of mind will automatically trigger. So that's why, you know what I'm saying, you attract who you are. If you're thinking on this level, you're never going to be, you're never going to reach a certain level. And the journey of life, the transformation, that's what this is all about. That's why your survival kit is knowledge, all mental. So this is a spiritual life, if you understand this. That's when the yin and the yang come together. You are living your spiritual life right now. I am the kingdom of God right now. It's when now you know the truth. Now death has nothing over you anymore. Because now you become that. You become him. You become cosmic. You become eternal. As he is eternal. And that's what the masters understood. And there's also another reason why, even in voodoo, all the gods in our mythology, and here's something else too, mythology is powerful. Powerful. Just like the figure of speech is fucking powerful. It goes deep. If you're looking at God as a mother, There's a certain behavior that you're going to have. And if you're looking at God as a punitive, as a father, a punitive dad, well, guess what? There's a certain behavior you're going to have too. Do you see how you're creating your own reality? I guess Jesus is coming back. You haven't came back yet. See what I'm saying? And that's your ultimate truth. That's your ultimate reality. And that's what you should go by. And unless, that's what I'm saying. There's nothing small about God. Why do you put yourself small? Especially if you have his essence in you. You see what I'm saying? So that's how this information, by understanding that, you become born again. Because now, ever since you were little, they gave you all that bullshit. Now that you come to understand that, that's what the journey of the one is all about. Self discovery, destroying and rebuild. Many deaths, many life, many deaths in this life. I have to die so many ways, so many times. Every time I change, every time I became a better person, I transcended, I died, and I was reborn again. Died and reborn again. Died and reborn again. 'Cause from the time that you came into this world, because birth and death are pretty much portals. So what you have in the in between, you have many portals in between. That's where your growth comes in. You die and you're born again in between as you exiting through death, and that's what makes it a life, a human experience. The human part really truly comes in you interacting with form, with the material. And all of our ancestors, all they ever did was leaving us clues for those of us who would come later. So that way we know who we are. This shit is all about, making you remember who you are. Because as you're descending or going through or being in this condensed energy, you lose your power. But you reclaim it as you are getting your consciousness back and you're transcending. You're becoming godlike. If you know about the what is it called, Enana, the Enana mythology, that's what this is all about. As she was coming down to Earth, she lost all of her powers, and as she's going back to Earth, she's gaining everything else. And guess what? As you came in as a spirit, when you're living through death, going through that portal, you got to leave this body behind, and that's the transformation. And for you not to be stuck down here in the cycle, because us masters, we come here at will. We know the truth. That's why we do not say fuck Earth. We embrace Earth. Earth can only be a prison to a prisoner. Do you see what I'm saying? Like when I go on vacation somewhere, I don't give a fuck about their political um, biasness or what the fuck's happening. I'm here on vacation. So if you're a traveler down here, that's why you shouldn't have anything against Earth. In fact, drink your pina colada, motherfucker. Eat your pizza. Fuck your bitches. Smoke your blunt. But yet again, know who you are. How else would you have a fucking experience? But for some of us, it becomes hell. Because now you don't know who you are, meaning your divinity, you're not in touch with your divinity. Now that's when you became vain, vanity and all that shit. You stuck down here in the fucking bullshit. You're repeating shit that you don't understand. You're living for other people. You're looking to please other motherfuckers, not knowing you're on vacation, not knowing that you should suck your own motherfucking dick or eat your own pussy. And that's where the loss comes in. I mean, what the fuck am I saying? That's where the whole confusion or you being lost in the land of the lost comes in. Then now you have the masters that comes in. How do y'all niggas want it? Trying to remind you of who you are. You're the child of God. Jesus came here to save you. Save you from what? Your ignorance. It's saving you from your ignorance. And Christ, meaning Jesus, is a consciousness. It's the highest form of consciousness. Not the fucking white man, not none of that shit. Or that religion, none of that shit. That's what it is. And many different religion are pretty much talking about the same thing, but in different ways. Indians have a certain way of talking about it. They talk about Bhavati. They talk about fucking Shiva, the destroyer, the builder, and all that shit. They're talking about different forces that exist in the fucking universe on Earth. Voodoo does the same shit. The Egyptians, they have motherfucking I don't know, I can't think of anything right now, but Heru, all these motherfuckers, Tahuti, all these motherfuckers are a representation of certain things. What the fuck? Tahuti, Anubis, and all them shits. All different forces. In voodoo, we have Ogu, Ezeli Dantor, and all them shits. All different forces. That are you. So we name them so you have better control over them. But most importantly, when you name something or you give it a human form, now what you do is you take it from the abstraction, or because if you don't see it, it's dormant. We are in this physical realm. What you don't see is dormant. But when you make it physical, now you can interact with it. So that's why motherfuckers they would have all the statues and all them shits that they were not necessarily worshiping, not directly, but indirectly, because they pulled it from the fucking darkness, put it in the light, and now you making it visible. That's why they tell you when you have a plan, guess what? Write it down. You got more power over it. It becomes clearer to you now. Understand it, motherfuckers. These motherfuckers not stupid. Really? I was listening to who the fuck? Denzel Washington. These niggas said the Egyptians try to take fucking. Are you stupid? The fuck? Unt- Niggas, come on, man. I gotta stop that shit. This nigga, he was saying, what the fuck was he talking about? He was saying, um, some shit, and I don't even know why. I mean, he's a very knowledgeable guy. I mean, not that I would know, you know what I'm saying? But based on some of this shit, that's I can argue that on both sides. But anyway, um, but he was saying some shit about the Egyptians actually try to take their, and that was a ritual. He didn't understand what a ritual is. Well, he's a Christian too, right? So he didn't understand what a ritual, but he was saying some shit about The Egyptians trying to take their, what do you call that? They try to take their I don't know, gold with them, and that didn't work. Like, come on, man. And you think these motherfuckers was that stupid? Just like you motherfuckers think like they're worshiping clays. Like, what the fuck is that shit? Like, you think these motherfuckers are worshiping this? Like, I got this. You think I'm worshiping this shit? No, this is a representation of something. Just like you have your vision board. Just like you got to write shit down. You name them. We name the different forces, those spirits, so that give us power over them. That's the idea behind it. The fuck? Somehow, and here's something else too, man, which is crazy. The whole fucking Kemet, the whole Egyptian culture, civilized the whole world. And now somehow in 2022, we know better than them? I mean, we can. I mean, it's not impossible, but you would have to know what they know then first. But if you don't know what they know, and then now you claiming to know more about them because you on some Jesus shit that they gave you, that derives from your fucking Egyptian mythologies, because Jesus ain't nothing but what the fuck is this motherfuckers? I read that book a long time ago, and this nigga was making the comparison. I'm like, oh shit. What the fuck? I don't even remember. But anyway, this shit is out there, man. The age of information. Joe Massey.